Have you ever been in the middle of a great conversation with someone you love, but you can't really hear what they're saying because you're already in your own head rehearsing what you're gonna say next? Or maybe you're watching a beautiful sunset, but you're not actually seeing the colors because your mind is stuck, replaying some dumb mistake you made at work 3 days ago. Here, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're sitting down to an incredible meal. I mean, the smell, the colors, everything about it promises to be this moment of pure, simple joy. And yet, you're not there. Your body's at the table, sure, but your mind? Your mind is a million miles away, stuck in a courtroom in your head, replaying an argument with a coworker over and over. And just like that, the moment is gone. You were there, but you missed the whole thing. There's a name for this, you know? They call it the monkey mind. But honestly, I think that's putting it mildly. It's more like having a hyperactive toddler running the show in your brain, yanking your attention from a worry about tomorrow to a regret from last year, back to an anxious thought about 5 minutes from now. It's exhausting. And this is where we get it all wrong. We've been sold this idea that living in the moment means being reckless or irresponsible or just apathetic to everything. That's the myth. The truth is the exact opposite. It isn't about checking out, it's about checking in. It's about being fully awake with this incredible clarity and sensitivity to life as it's actually happening. So we try to catch the present moment, right? We try to grab it, hold on to it for dear life, but that's impossible. It's like trying to grab a handful of water from a flowing river. The second you clench your fist, it's gone. The present isn't some destination to be captured, it's a current you're meant to flow with. So the real goal is, well, it's almost ridiculously simple. It's just about getting your mind and your body to show up to the same party, to be in the same physical place at the same exact time. That's it. That's the whole game. So how do we actually pull this off? How do we train that little toddler in our brain to just chill out for a minute? Well, it's easier than you think. And the best part is, you already have every single tool you need. Let's open up the toolkit. First up, your breath. Think about it. Your breath is the one thing that's always with you, and it's always happening right now, in the present. It never happens in the past or the future. That makes it the perfect anchor to bring you back home. All you have to do is find a quiet moment and just notice it. Don't try to change a thing. Just feel the air coming in and feel it going out. Maybe notice your chest or your belly rising and falling. Now, your mind is going to wander. That's what it does. Don't get mad at it. Just gently, like you're guiding a lost puppy, bring it back to the breath. Every single time you do that, you're building a muscle. All right, next tool, your food. We've all done it, right? Shoveling down a meal while we're scrolling on our phone or watching TV. We're not even tasting it, we're just refueling. So try this next time. Before you even take a bite, just look at your food. Really see the colors, the shapes. Then smell it. Take in the aroma. And when you finally take a bite, choose slowly. Can you pick out the different flavors? What's the texture like? All of a sudden, a boring Tuesday lunch becomes this rich sensory experience. This happens when we're walking too. I mean, think about it. How many times have you gotten somewhere, work, home, whatever, and you have zero memory of the journey? It's because we're on autopilot. Our mind is a million miles away, and our body is just the taxi getting it there. So what if, on your next walk, you just decided to arrive in your body? Actually feel your feet hitting the pavement. Notice the tiny shifts in balance your body is making constantly. Feel the breeze on your skin. Hear the sounds around you. Suddenly, a simple walk isn't just about getting from A to B. It's a chance to connect with the world. Okay, this next one might sound a little strange, but stick with me. You can do this even with the most boring chores. There's this great Zen story where a student asks the master his secret to enlightenment. The master just says, "When I eat, I eat. When I sleep, I sleep." The student is confused and says, "But everyone does that." And the master smiles and says, "No, when they eat, they are thinking of 100 other things. When I eat, I am just eating." So next time you're washing the dishes, try to just wash the dishes. That's it. Feel the warmth of the water. Notice the feeling of the soap bubbles. Hear the clink of the plates. You might just find this pocket of calm and focus in the middle of the most boring task imaginable. And finally, the big one, your feelings. See, living in the moment doesn't mean you become some emotionless robot. It doesn't mean you'll never feel anger or sadness or anxiety again. It just means you learn how to watch those feelings without letting them take over the entire show. So next time a big wave of emotion hits you, try this. Just for a second, pause. Don't react. Instead, get curious. Ask yourself, where am I feeling this in my body? Is it a tightness in my chest, a knot in my stomach? Just observe the physical sensation without labeling it good or bad, and you'll notice something amazing. When you just watch a feeling without getting tangled up in it, it eventually passes, just like a cloud moving across the sky. So what are all these practices really doing? They are teaching us how to break our sense of attachment. Attachment is when we're so glued to a feeling that we can't see anything else. It's when you believe you are your anxiety, instead of realizing you're a person who is simply experiencing anxiety. The feeling is in the driver's seat. The skill we're building then is awareness. Awareness is the ability to take a step back and see your thoughts and feelings for what they really are. Just temporary events passing through your consciousness. They aren't you, and they don't have to be in charge. And right there, in that little gap, in the space between the feeling and your reaction to it, that's where you find it, freedom. And this isn't some small prize. This is everything. This is the freedom to choose how you respond to life instead of being a puppet of your own emotions. It's this deep inner stability that doesn't need constant approval from the outside world. It's discovering that the most profound beauty can be found in something as simple as a cup of coffee. It's a kind of freedom that no one can ever take away from you. Think of it like this. Your true self, your awareness, it's like a mirror. All day long, images pass across it. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, they come and they go. But the mirror itself, it's never damaged by the reflections. It's never broken or stained. It just remains perfectly clear. Which leads to the one big question. If you are the mirror and not the fleeting reflections, if you are not your thoughts, then who are you?
Subscribe for daily wisdom.